So I always look forward to the 1500 metres across any category, across any class. One of the real blue ribbon events, 3 3/4 laps of the track. And what a field this is, because we do have the world record holder, Nate REICH of Canada. That world record standing at 3:47.89. As we do go through that start list, Alberto Costello there. We've got KRAI of Algeria, the world record holder there in REICH. Two Australians in Daniel Bounty and Deon KENZIE. Keep an eye on Louis Radius of France as well. Michael McKillop of Ireland, Liam Stanley of Canada. And we've got Hanauni Bouzidi of France as well. And here he is. The question is, where is his season format? Because of COVID, a lot of these athletes haven't had that opportunity to race. However, they've also had the benefit of not having a disrupted build-up as well. Really interesting to see how this race is run. It can be incredibly tactical, but I would have thought for the likes of Nate REICH, the world record holder, he'll want to take it out relatively quick, relatively fast, and put the pressure on early, send the rest of this field a message. As we just have a look there at Stanley of Canada, McKillop here of Ireland. So he won gold in Rio in 2016, so he's the defending champion. The Australian Deon KENZIE, silver in Rio back in 2016. So our gold and silver medalists next to each other. So Radius of France, the bronze medalist from Rio. So all three medalists on the start line. The second of the Australians. He's a class act. Daniel Bounty out of the University of the Sunshine Coast. Nate REICH, current world champion, won that in Dubai back in 2019, world record holder. The Algerian KRAI. And he was second at the World Championships back in Dubai in 2019. Castillo of Nicaragua, 27 years of age. He's more of a sprinter, comes from a 200-metre background. So if it's a slow pace, look out for the man from Nicaragua. 3 3/4 laps of the track. It is the men's 1500-metre T38 final.
A little bit of unsteadiness on the inside there, I think, from Castillo.
Yeah, now T38 athletes with coordination impairments.
Just a general warning.
So some of these athletes suffering from cerebral palsy. The men's 1500-metre final is underway. And it will be immediately the Frenchman, Louis Radius, who wants to go to the front, set the pace. He wants to control things. He's happy running from the front, as so many athletes are. Reasonably steady too. You can just see this field being strung out early.
KENZIE making a move around to make sure he doesn't lose touch with this lead group of three.
Yeah, interesting to see Bounty of Australia just happy to sit back, but they're going to want to try and close that gap up. They do not want that gap to open up too quickly. But good performance coming also from Daniel Bounty of Australia.
Stanley running a little wide for Canada in the red cap.
Yeah, you want to try and run on that pole line as much as you can. So we've got 4 runners who have already just put a little bit of a gap on the rest of this field. And now it's going to come down to a lot of concentration. Fairly even though. Nice piece of front running being done by Louis Radius of France, 41 years of age, third in Rio. He'd love to go 2 better tonight, the Frenchman. But now we see the world record holder, Nate REICH. He wants to control things. He says enough is enough. I'm not going to be dictated to. I'm going to ask the questions of the rest of this field.
Hanauni Bouzidi, that is the first of the Frenchmen, I think, there. And we've got KENZIE deciding it's Reich's getting a little bit too far away, but his move around the outside has initially failed. He's got to surge again.
25 years of age, Deon KENZIE, the silver medalist from Rio. But it is all of the Canadian at the moment. The man who comes in with a season's best of 3:47.89, which is also the world record. So in world record form and putting on a wonderful demonstration here. Tokyo 2020, day 11, Paralympic Games.
Well, he's really put a 30-metre gap on the chasers now, and it's Reich's to lose as long as he hasn't burnt too much petrol, and KENZIE sets out after him.
Well, this is a good move from KENZIE. He can't afford to leave it any longer now, the big Australian. He decides to make his move. He has gone around about 700 metres out, the Australian. Still a lap to go, but it is the current world record holder, Nate REICH, the 26-year-old from Canada. KRAI of Algeria hangs tough, desperate to try and get himself a podium.
They're not making much of an impression on REICH. He's got the race in his control. He can look up at the big screen at the end and see just what kind of a lead he has.
Well, that is a very good run from the Canadian. You sort of sense now the rest of them are racing for second, third and fourth. And at what point do they say perhaps that is good enough tonight? But Deon KENZIE of Australia is still giving everything he can, just hoping that the Canadian begins to fall apart. But looking at his form, he is in control. He knows that if he can just get through to that 1,300-metre mark, it'll just be about maintaining form.
KENZIE with a bit of a lead over third, fourth and fifth. But can't see REICH losing it from here. He's holding his form well. He's extending his lead, if anything. And KENZIE's got to dig deep to make sure he holds on.
Well, it is Nate REICH. His nickname is Nate Dog. He's a communication specialist out of the University of South Alabama. And he's on his way to win himself a Paralympic gold medal to add to the world record. It is a dominant performance for the Canadian.
KENZIE struggling to hold on to second here. He's going to get past.
Oh, a great run coming from the Algerian KRAI. A very good run indeed. But it is all Nate REICH of Canada. Deon KENZIE of Australia will win the bronze medal. But you want to see a dominant display of running? Well, we've seen it tonight. And a very good Paralympic record of 3:58.92. Abdelkrim KRAI of Algeria, the silver. Deon KENZIE of Australia, the bronze medal. Well, you go back to 1974 at the Commonwealth Games in one of the great front-running displays by the great Philbert Bailly. Well, I tell you what, the Canadian tonight took a leaf out of his book and just said enough is enough.
That's Castillo. I think the shorter distances might suit him, as you suggested, Mark, and he's
well, the nice thing about Castillo is he's got good basic speed, so he's got 3 more years to Paris. Just go out there, do the miles, do a bit of speed maintenance, and you just don't know how quickly his improvement curve will come. But Nate REICH, 26 years of age, sets a new Paralympic record in testing conditions.
So REICH accepts the congratulations of his rivals. That genuine camaraderie we've witnessed right through the track and field program is still with us.
You just have a look at the little kick here, and he does it just with such ease. The good runners just make it look effortless.
That's the inside of the track is well washed. A little look over the shoulder. It's almost a lazy action, isn't it? There's not much of the arm pumping. It's he looks a natural runner. Yeah,
the good runners make it look easy, though, don't they? And I always say this: if you see an athlete in trouble, don't look at face expressions. Always look at the form of an athlete. And he at no point dropped his shoulders. We didn't see any head movement. Beautifully balanced. And at this level, well, they're not worried about world records. They come and go. It's the Paralympic gold medals last forever. And it is another one the way of Canada.
haven't had a super productive games, Canadians, with 4 gold medals coming into this evening. Actually behind New Zealand.
And just confirming those results for you, there you go. So new Olympic record, 358.92 goes to Nate REICH, who now holds the Paralympic record and the world record. And great to see Abdelkrim KRAI of Algeria set a personal best of time of 4 minutes 3.07. Australia get themselves on the podium with Deon KENZIE.